This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Always follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard
On VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. We're live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. And my goodness, do we have a 3-hour banger lined up for you today. Plenty on Game 2 and the series of the NBA Finals, which we're going to get tonight. A lot on what took place last night in Raleigh, Game 2 Stanley Cup Final. Great guest on the program today. Major League Baseball card as well. Julian Edlow with DraftKings. His NBA bets coming up in 30 minutes. Mike Beer, daily racing form, handicapper. His best bets for the Belmont and other bets that he likes for today in horse racing. And Brian Geltzeiler on the NBA, along with Jonathan Davis in studio as well to preview Game 3 on Saturday night out here in Las Vegas. And that's where we are going to begin. We will get to the challenge, and I can't wait to get Paulie's thoughts on it as a former goalie coming up in a minute. As somebody who bet the under 6 in the game last night, I'm not mad, and you can't be. And, well, I guess people could be, but
not mad.
Here's exactly what happened in my brain last night as I'm watching the game. There was a timeout, I think, around the 16-minute mark, and I said, it's 2-0. And I go to myself, maybe it's time just in case to see if I can get a middle here. And I looked, and I'm like, yeah, that's interesting. But I told myself at that point during the commercial, if they get 5 goals and beat me, so be it.
Yeah.
When it got to 2-2, I'm like, are you kidding me?
What a moose.
This is dead.
Horrific beat.
Are you serious?
Number one, the series is over. Because when you're up 2-0 in the Stanley Cup Final, you're 91%, but the road team would have won the first 2. And then for you to lose under 6, and it's 2-0 with 10 minutes left.
Yep.
It's just incredible. And then Howden with the 2 breakaway goals.
Oh, those were tremendous.
Other than that, it could have been a 1-0 game.
Yep.
But it's, it could be an all-time Stanley Cup Final. That's great. But the thing is that too much over the last 20 years is you don't want to be talking about hockey, and it's negative and controversial. And that's what's happening. So since we've been on this network for 8 years, I've been consistent on one thing. I have no idea what goalie interference is. No clue. And a lot of fans don't either. And also, may he rest in peace, one of our favorite guys who loved hockey so much, was at the Clint Malarchuk game, and it was big in getting a team here in Las Vegas, was Brian Blessing. He always called it a garage league. Mm-hmm. They do a lot of stupid stuff, silly stuff, and it's just between their ridiculous playoff format, what's going on in the situation room, what is goalie interference? Too much of the stuff where it's just, how do you run a sport like this? It doesn't make any sense. So this is, but I was talking to the Golden Muzzy, and Nick Alberga was on with Von Tobel and Stormy. This is becoming like soccer. And we saw it on the third Carolina goal. God forbid you get into a Game 7 or a Game 6 clinch or something like that, and someone scores, and it's, oh, look, offsides? Are we good?
I know.
Review? Challenge? What's bad? There's too much of this.
There's no flow.
It's like soccer. Offside? Is it clean? Is the goal going to stand? VAR? Hello, are we good? You can't have that. You can't be looking over your shoulder and wait to celebrate when you think you scored, and oh, wait, we have to challenge you. We're going to look at the video.
Honestly, it's like the end of some NBA games when certain officials are on the call, when they're on the game. Look back at the Tony Brothers game between the Thunder and the Spurs. No flow in that game whatsoever. Destroyed the game, in my opinion. And no, you're exactly right with that. I'll tell you what Eddie Olczyk told me this morning, who was on the show yesterday, and he was on the radio call last night, coming up in a minute. But this is amazing with Carolina. Again, the last time they lost consecutive games, January 12th and 13th. That's now a 49-game streak of not losing 2 in a row. And then the game-by-game betting stuff as well. The first period over 1.5 goals, 6-1 straight up. 6-1 last 7 and 10 of the last 12 in Hurricanes games, and 7 out of the last 10 in the Golden Knight games as well. So that I don't think I had that, and that's not something that took place last night. Those are my wrong notes. I apologize for that. So getting the game itself anyway, and now that it's a -110 in game number 3, what do you make of that?
They got to get the top line going. That's the thing. I think you're still loving life if you're Carolina.
Yeah.
Because you stole the game, but Svechnikov's got 1 shot on goal in the series.
Yeah.
Aho's done nothing. Jonathan Davis, who's coming in later, is comparing him to Mitch Marner. when he was in Toronto. He's on a milk carton. You give up the 2 breakaway goals. Other than that, you were solid, though. But then the McNabb, how about that? A puck to the face. Oh, mama.
Yeah, I highly advise people on social media, don't repost that.
But I
don't want to look at that.
2 power play goals because you lose McNabb. Tortorella didn't have an update on him, but he takes a puck to the face and he has to leave. So then they finally wake up with the power play, and that was the difference as well.
Sure.
That they get the 2 power play goals. But I got to go under 6. Game 3, I think this has calmed down now, and it was just a fluke what transpired. We're not going to have mistakes. We could have. We should get a 3-2 game now here on out. But this is. You also can't criticize Vegas and Tortorella. That is, I think it's one thing if you're going to blow the whistle because you lost sight of the puck. But Barbashev for just poking at it, and I don't know how Anderson doesn't cover up the puck in the crease and how he whiffs on it, but whether it was too early of a whistle, and Brindamore afterwards and Tortorella said 100%, you got to be 100% because what happens if you lose the challenge? Mm-hmm. You have to challenge that. And I think the league blew it and the Situation Room blew it. That should be a goal, and Vegas should be up 2-0 in the series. That doesn't make any sense. And Messier was awesome. That is not goalie interference, and they should have worked that out and come to a conclusion that should have been a goal, and Vegas should have had the lead. And then it gets worse because then it's a power play and Carolina takes the lead.
Of course, and that's the high risk that you're taking right there if you're Tortorella by challenging that, and you have the potential there of giving Carolina the power play, and then there's not much time left, and you had a 2-0 lead, and all of a sudden, because of what happened, you're down 3-2, and you had to have the miracle by Mark Stone to actually send it to overtime. Here's what Eddie Olczyk told me earlier today. Right. On the program yesterday, he's called a ton of these games for TNT. He was on the radio call last night as well. He said during the broadcast that it was a good goal. He did not think the puck was covered. He saw it as the Golden Knights did. But as you just said, Eddie said that you have to be 100% sure. He also told me that for 50 minutes, VGK was clinical, low chances, 0 going on. Anderson in his own zone, boom, crazy how that just happened.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Game's over. The silly turnover becomes 2-1, and now we got a series.
So let me tell you what others... Right, I'll give you both sides here. I'll give you media and I'll give you sports bettors. This is from John Buccigross because he quote tweeted what Tortorella did after the game and what he said. Buccigross said he was right that the goal should have counted. What part of challenging is reading the mind of the Situation Room and if they might get it wrong? That's a great perspective there. You're taking a little bit of a gamble on trying to figure out what's in the brains of the people in the Situation Room. More Buccigross when he said that was actually a good challenge by Vegas. That puck is alive and loose. That is Barbashev's stick going for the puck. That's a poor decision by the NHL Situation Room. To which professional sports bettor, and he's been betting pro hockey for a long time, Rob Pizzola tweeted out to Buccigross and said, literally a split second after the puck is under Anderson, and he is getting pushed back into the net. I have never seen this overturned. They called no goal on the ice. This is in all caps, this is a terrible challenge. And then Pizzola also added, if Carolina holds on and wins the game, I think that challenge by Tortorella might go down as one of the worst in the history of sports when you consider the stakes. So absolutely 2 different sides there. One from a guy who's been betting pro hockey for a long, long time, and the other one, Buccigross, who has covered hockey for many, many years as well.
I thought it was friendly fire. I thought his own guys were in the crease and pushed into him. Barbashev just poked at the puck.
He poked at the puck.
And Freddie couldn't cover it. But that's why I'm going to also tiebreakers Messier. When do you see Messier that mad?
No, he's never that animated.
He was livid. But it goes back to it's frustrating being a fan. You don't know what goalie interference. It's not goalie interference. That's the last thing it is.
Yeah, let me point this out as well. And maybe I should, at the time, I actually made a note of it to bring up on the show today. And maybe it was worth a look at betting because of the comment. How about in the second intermission? Did you catch Steve Levy's comments when it was 2-0 Golden Knights?
I did not, no.
They started talking sweep on the broadcast.
Oh, wow. That is early. That's premature.
Even Adam Hill, who covers the team, was listening, and he's been on this show and this network many times. He's like, those comments about the sweep in the second intermission are not aging so well right now. And I think that's when it was 2-1 or maybe 2-2. I was befuddled. I was taken aback when they actually brought up a sweep.
End of second period?
End of the second period.
It was 2-0.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. 9-1 in play. Thought it'd be higher. What a comeback. What a game.
Sean Grandy, he calls Celtics games now, but he said only 2 games in, but best Stanley Cup final ever is very much in play. And people were challenging him. He's like, look, I've been around for a long, long time. I used to cover hockey. I was there for a bunch of games. Yeah. All he's saying is on pace, maybe this could unfold. Because if you consider what's happened so far in the 2 games, how is it not on pace to be in the mix for the best we've ever had?
So that's the first time since 1944 in the Stanley Cup a team rallied down 2 goals less than 10 minutes. And it's the second time ever where we've had a team come back down 2 goals. So, yes, it is on pace.
Yeah.
And hopefully it delivers tomorrow as well. Now, Vegas is saying all the right things about they're not blaming the officials. What didn't go our way, whatever. Stahl putting in his own net to tie it was incredible as well. Mm-hmm. And then it goes to overtime with the power play goal. So it's they're lucky that they're tied at 1, and now we'll see if they can take advantage of it. But some of these guys have to show up for Carolina.
Yep.
But I would say come back with the under. Just a fluke what transpired in the last 10 minutes. And I don't see them putting a lot of rubber on Hart. I would say Hart under saves.
Okay.
They're doing a great job.
They are.
Go under 27.5 saves. And Svechnikov under. How can you be 2.5 for shots on goal when he has 1 in the series? That's another one, I would say. Another prop to look at.
Boy, I mean, I'll say this about Carolina. I mean, they can equalize things quickly, man. Now, again, a lot of nothing was happening last night on their end. And then it's 2-0. That, you blinked and it was gone. Against Montreal, one of those games, first period, nothing's happening. 3-0. You go to the bathroom. Wait, I was gone for 30. It's 3-0. Really? Like they can go on these mini run. Game 1, 2-0, just like that. Bang, bang. Game 2 NBA Finals coming up next. All signs point towards this being San Antonio's game. There's just one small problem we're going to kick around coming up here on VSiN.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. Use promo code TRYRTN for a 5-day free trial.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Hey everybody, Jensen Lewis here, co-host of VSiN By the Books with my guy Dave Ross. Tune in Monday as we catch up on all the action from over the weekend, including the NBA Finals, Stanley Cup Final, Major League Baseball, and we'll recap the Memorial Tournament, plus so much more. As always, joined by a stacked guest list including Will Hill, Zachary Cohen, and NHL.com's Pete Jensen. It's VSiN By the Books, a Monday edition, 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
NBA Game 2, NBA Finals coming up tonight. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. The Spurs are laying 6.5 now everywhere. They're minus 112 on that number at DraftKings. Does it go to 7? And the total now is, hello, back to 217.5. The market said, wait, 214? Hold on a second here. No chance.
I know. Do you think the Knicks are going to come out and push it again? They did it to start game 1. Mm-hmm. That was their plan, but then it didn't go well, so then they abandoned it. But if you go back to game 1, Wemby had his hands on his knees 3 minutes into the game.
I know.
I think even though it didn't work, they had the lead early on. But I would come out and try to tire him out and try to get fatigue setting in, and I would come out and push the ball again if I'm the Knicks.
I don't have a big opinion on the total, but the 6.5 to me is going to have to be in pocket tonight. I just want to see if it's going to go to 7, actually.
Oh, yeah, savor the flavor. I mean, they've won 12 in a row.
Yeah, hello. Look at that number now here at Circa. It's 6.5 minus 118 is the current number.
Wow.
So that's going to touch 7, I'm guessing, at some point.
Did you see T-Bone's tweet? Thought it was excellent. Can you imagine if you're a bookie in New York?
Oh, you got to be getting absolutely slaughtered.
It doesn't matter what the number is. It's 11-1 ATS and sweep, win the series, go to the finals, win the East, 12 in a row, no problem.
That's what you brought up yesterday. The guy who's betting the outs the other way with the Knicks at BetMGM lately, he's betting like the plus money, like plus whatever, 10.5, 11.5, whatever it is at minus money.
Right.
Go the other way. Lay points with the Knicks.
He's up $2 million. He'd be up $6 million.
Yeah, I really think so.
He was doing it the other way. We'll see if he makes an appearance tonight. You're right, but this just goes back to people saying I live and breathe, and I've been watching this sport forever, and this is season on the line, and they're going to respond and maybe even blow them out. But I can't do it against this team.
I know.
I mean, for what they've done, this is an all-time run by the Knicks. Either going to look great or look foolish. Although the Spurs have been awesome, and Wemby has been awesome off losses in the postseason.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's the thing. Like, of any game in this entire series that reeks San Antonio victory, this would be the game. In fact, when in terms of coming out of the gates quickly as well, we talked about this a lot yesterday. We've talked about this throughout the entire playoffs. In the first quarter, off of a loss and favored in the next game, much like the Spurs are tonight, 21-8-1 on the money line this year. Home chalk when they lost game 1 and are favored again in game 2. Since 2021, 19-3-1 overall. And you also have this with the Spurs. Going back to the first loss, I believe it was against the Timberwolves in the playoffs. They're 4 games after a loss. 133-95 over Minnesota. 126-97 over Minnesota. 103-82 over Oklahoma City, and 118-91. The club teams upside the head. Mm-hmm. But Oklahoma City was dinged up, and the Timberwolves aren't as good as these other teams.
Yeah, this is a different beast.
It is.
No doubt. Can he go past Towns? Can he blow past Towns? Is Towns in foul trouble? He just played the best game of his career.
And what if that's the thing tonight, Paulie? What if Towns gets a couple of quick ones early? He's got to go to the bench.
That's something to monitor. Then
game changer.
Put Robinson on, and then maybe we'll see the the OG card too. But I can also come back and say, where are you at? Because did we talk you off the ledge or no? But when that tweet about it, this maybe 130's a gift here. Your stance was the Knicks didn't even play well and still won the game.
Well, I think a sweep is in play.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, if they take the game tonight, I think they're going to sweep the Spurs, and they're going to win the next 2 at the Garden. But tonight's the total key to that. So I do have a decent bet on the Spurs to win the series right now. Like, I want to...
The Knicks.
I keep saying that. Okay. The Knicks. Thank you for correcting me. I do have a big bet on the Knicks to win the series overall. I want to go heavy, like very heavy on it. But my thought is 2 things here. Again, if there's going to be a game the Spurs are going to look great in and bounce back from, it's going to be tonight. They win the game. I get a better price going into game 3. However, what if that doesn't take place? Then the minus 125, the minus 130, that's probably never going to reappear in this series.
Yep.
And that opportunity then is going to be long gone.
I would say the Knicks have been the number 1 team in the first quarter. They're always getting off to these great starts. Brunson didn't play well. I think he'll shoot better. Hart was in foul trouble. And the other thing is, I agree with Brian Windhorst. Watch the energy level of Wembanyama early, because maybe this guy's just running out of gas here. That could be.
Yep.
I mean, to think that he is tugging on his shorts early in the first quarter of game 1. That is something to monitor. The other thing is, number one, it could have to be a blowout. And number two, he just doesn't have enough in the tank. He rallied late with the rebounds. Here at Circa, good job. He's 3-1 not to have a double-double. So you go back and look. There's a lot of games, because we still remember game 1 against OKC. And then he followed up with 17 boards. But then he 7, 6, 8. So, he's 7-4. He's going to grab every rebound.
Sure.
Maybe. Does he lose the opening tip again? You can start off with a bang, plus 450 to put that in your account again. Does he win the opening tip? That's another one that's offered. So that's also fun with the first basket of the game. As Brunson was 35-1 for a made three. But you got to go back to the well. And Caesars and Will Hill has it. It's 3.5 again with the cat assists.
Yeah, the only concern there to me would be the possible foul trouble.
I still think he can get there, even though that's because it's such a low number.
Yeah.
Champagny to lead in threes again. It's down to plus 375. That's game leaders.
Do you know what he is to lead the series in threes?
Yeah, I can get it.
It doesn't. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's updated, but he was
plus 275 in that neighborhood before game 1.
That's right. So he had that first half. Maybe the Knicks have made the adjustments and won't leave him wide open again. But then some of the stuff is tough. I mean, Harper should get major minutes. Mm-hmm. Monitor Fox. Fox has got to bounce back. He was terrible. He also has to play well. And Castle, if he has a big game, double is 5-1 here at Circa. How about Brunson plus 125 to outscore Wemby?
I don't mind it.
This guy is so tough. He's so good. He didn't get a friendly whistle. It's almost like he can get 28 on accident.
Well, he got hurt the other night and missed several key minutes at the beginning. And how many shots did he take?
31.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if he's going to take 25 shots in that neighborhood, maybe even more, you got to love his chances to have more points than Wemby. But here's my comeback. Is Wemby taking 10 threes tonight? Or do they find a solution down low where he can actually operate near the rim?
Right. That's also, those are the three key things to watch if there's fatigue. Are you taking threes? Are you settling? You can't blow by Cat, and you're not making an impact defensively. You're right. It also just could be a bad matchup, as we talked about earlier.
Could be.
The Knicks should be 4-0 against them.
Yep.
They're 3-1 against them, and the one loss, they blew the game in the fourth quarter. So it is crazy to see a team on a 12-game winning streak, 11-1 ATS, outscored the opponents by 272, and is a 6.5 point spread.
Did you take that number? 6.5?
I'm going to wait in play. I think there'll be something better.
Okay.
Don't you? No, you're not there? Is this true? Is this right now?
Is this him?
Is this him? Okay.
Okay, for game 2, he's back, huh?
200,000 plus 10.5, 100,000 plus 9.5, 50,000 plus 8.5, 35,000 plus 7.5, 20. They put some money line in there.
Of course.
I know he's up you're right. He's up 1.8 million, but he could be up 6 million if he was doing it like Lance and doing it the other way. So,
and by the way, again, as a reminder, the point spread has not mattered going back to 2013.
Yeah, very good.
And will it even matter last? So does it matter tonight? Maybe you don't even need the points with the Knicks. To your point about this guy here,
right.
And so this is the deal. Makinen called it ridiculous this week at VSiN.com. 63, 3, and 3 ATS, 95.5% over the last 11 seasons. Outright winner. You don't need the points. So if this continues, either the Spurs win tonight by 7 or more, or the Knicks win outright.
I got to give you another one. They're 9-1 in the playoffs when they hold their opponents to under 40 points in the paint. Knicks had 50 in game 1.
Okay.
That's something also to watch.
Sure.
They can take them down low.
Let me throw this at you as well with this total going back up to 217.5 right now. Finals games are 30, 13, and 1 under 70% over the last 44 games. Huh?
Strong.
And then, so
awesome.
Since 2005, NBA teams coming off of upsets are 288, 213, and 13 ATS in their next game. Also, over the last 30 years, on the 4 occasions in which road dogs have stolen game 1 in the NBA Finals, the home favorites bounced back with straight up and ATS wins all 4 times. Last year, the Pacers went to Oklahoma City, and they stunned the Thunder in game 1. The Thunder went out and won game 2 by 16 points. We also saw it in 2022. That was when the Celtics went to Golden State, won in game 1. The Warriors bounced back in game 2 and won by 19 points.
Yep. This is it, though. This is it. If the Spurs can't win this game, oh boy.
That's why I took a little bit of a... This is live during game 1 on Wednesday night. I took a little slice of the Knicks to win by a sweep.
Circa has 6.5 under minus 210 total games. I mean, this is it's a top 5 sports atmosphere environment Monday night. The president's going to be there. I think the first time sitting president's going to finals matchup. It's now $9,000 get-in price. $9,000.
Is that it? I thought it was more than that.
You thought it was more?
That was more.
Than the nosebleeds? Yeah. Come on, $9,000.
They keep going up, Paul.
I know, and they already went to the Garden earlier this year and got destroyed. So 22-year-old kids going in there, fans on top of you.
But my ultimate scenario is Spurs win tonight by like 15. Knicks open up like a 1-point favorite in Game 3, and I can get a much better price on the series because that's when I want to fire away. Julian Edlow next from DraftKings, a unique way to bet the Spurs out of the gates. And it's not Wemby to win the opening tip. Find out his plan coming up next.
The biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime.
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Much more now on Game 2 tonight, NBA Finals with some best bets. So we go out to the Progressive guest line. Julian Edlow joins the program now, sports betting content, DraftKings Network. Julian, good to talk to you as always, my man. Hope all is well. I teased this before the break. You have a unique way of getting some instant gratification tonight, right out of the gates with San Antonio, and I'm all on board for this. Explain what you want to do.
Yeah, there's a few ways I'm going to do it too, but it'll start with Spurs race to 20. And I know you guys have probably hammered home all the trends, not only Spurs off a loss, 13-1 straight up and against the spread since mid-January. They're one of the best first quarter teams in the postseason. Historically, when the home favorite loses game 1, they come back and blow out in game 2. I like all of that, but I want to trust the Spurs early. And I'm going to go San Antonio race to 20 for starters. That was like minus 145, 150 range when I grabbed it this morning. That, for the most part, I mean, you can bet first quarter, and I like Spurs for first quarter. I got it at 1.5. I think we're out to 2.5 at DraftKings. But the race to 20 keeps Wemby on the floor for the most part. He's generally out there by the time someone gets to 20. So we're skipping over that Wemby rest that he gets in like the middle of the first quarter, and they generally close with him out there. Now, in game 1, that didn't work. The Spurs went on the run when Harper came in the game in the middle of that first quarter. So maybe it doesn't matter, but Harper could come in and give him that boost again. I like the Spurs first quarter. I like the Spurs race to 20. And really, you know, the Knicks have been a great first quarter team too. So this isn't something that you're going to get numbers on and be like, oh, this really favors San Antonio. I just think the desperation favors San Antonio, and the Knicks know they're going to take a good punch from the Spurs here. I think they have to, and they also know they can grind back and win all these games because they keep doing it, not just in game 1, but in many of these games throughout the postseason. Obviously, game 1 against the Cavs was obvious, but I think the most unique way that I like betting this game is we have to win the first quarter and win the full game at DraftKings. Generally, I like to correlate these. This game is one where I think you might not have to. You can get on DraftKings right now, this is the best price on it, Spurs to win the first quarter, Knicks to win the game is plus 650. I think that's entirely possible, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about a team that's, 200 on the money line. It was a lot less before. A team that's plus 200 on the money line, we can get them at 6.5 to 1 if we just concede the first quarter to the Spurs. They know they're going to take this early hit, and they've been grinding back all postseason. I think that's like completely in play.
Mitch made a good point earlier, and Circa has Brunson plus 125 to outscore Wemby. He had 2 injuries, was on the bench for a lot of the time, and still took 31 shots. So what do you expect out of Brunson tonight?
Yeah, so in game 1, I went 0 for 2 on player props. I did well I took the points with the Knicks. I had the Knicks to win game 1 and the series, which was plus 375. So I'm sitting on a good number with the Knicks, but I had Bridges points and I had Brunson to make 3 threes. He went 2 for 9. So I was sitting there with 0-2 on the player props, and Brunson's sitting on the bench early in the fourth quarter with 17 points, not playing well in a close game. I said, he's probably going to come in and do pretty well here. Let me check out what his points prop is. I was pretty surprised. And these things tick down like while the player is on the bench. So you're kind of watching for them to come back in, which he did around with 8 minutes in the fourth quarter. Brunson's live point prop with 8 minutes left in the first quarter right before he came back in was 21.5. He was plus 250 to go over 24.5. So I grabbed both of those. I passed on like plus 600 to score 30. I said, I don't think he can get there. He did. So I'm keeping an eye again on a Brunson close here. I don't know if he'll start as poorly as he did last game. I don't know how this knee and ankle injury are going to work, if it's going to slow him down early, and maybe you're not interested. But if this is a close game, I am keeping an eye on when Jalen Brunson's coming off the bench in the fourth quarter and looking at what that live point prop is, because he came back in with 8 minutes left in the game. By the time there were 6 minutes left in the game, the over 21.5 had cashed. By the time there were 5 minutes left in the game, the over 24.5 at plus 250 had cashed. And you're sitting there with 5 minutes left in the game. Yeah. So I am very interested in looking at Brunson props very, very late in the game.
Love that angle. By the way, so it really doesn't even matter like how many points he has in the game, I don't think. If the game's going to be close, he might have 17 like he did the other night, or he might have 35. whatever that number is, if it's like 35 with 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter and it's a close game, he's Mr. Clutch. He's going to be the guy with the ball in his hands on every single possession, probably taking a lot of shots to close out the game. So even if he has like 35 in the fourth quarter and they pull like a 41.5 on it, it might not, like, to get 8 more points. Okay, I'd be open to that.
That's what I'm saying. If he has a good game, he was having a bad game in game 1, so it totally made sense. You're looking at a depressed number there and saying he should be able to get to this. You might be looking at a stupid number if and when he has a really good game, like the scenario you just laid out, Mitch, where it's like, am I really going to bet Jalen Brunson over 38.5 points right now when he's got 33 when he comes off the bench in the fourth quarter? Well, yeah, because he's having a great game and he's going to go finish that great game by taking a lot of shots, and he's already playing well in that scenario, so he should be able to do more. So it doesn't matter how many he has in the game and how high that number is. You're really just looking at like 6.5 or so for the fourth quarter.
Sure, yeah,
is what you're eyeballing there.
Yep, kind of a percentage overall. Julian Edlow, our guest, he's with DraftKings. He's on the Progressive guest line right now. Dylan Harper has to get more run tonight, does he not? Has to.
That's what we're all saying. Fox looked terrible. He's battling through an ankle injury. I thought it was interesting in the pregame interview that he did with Malika Andrews. He would not put a percentage on it. She asked him to say, "How's your ankle doing?" He wouldn't say. He said, "I'll figure that out in 2 weeks." So kind of indicating that he's playing through something, and he looks like he's playing through something. And Harper was fantastic in game 1. He's had some huge moments in this postseason. Fox could easily wake up and have a better game. I think that's, well within the realm of possibility. But Harper's got to be a guy that's out there. You could have, a game where Vassell or Champagny just regress shooting the ball and you're going to take one of them off the floor. I think Castle's pretty safe to get his minutes, but Fox is the obvious one where if he's not playing well, the Spurs potentially gave that game away by giving Fox those minutes over Harper in game 1. You don't know how that goes. If Harper has a fourth quarter like he did a first quarter, the Spurs can win that game. So I think we see him out there more. He had 16 points and 8 rebounds in the 21 minutes in game 1. He was fantastic. So I kind of put together a little same game parlay here that gets you a little bit lower than his points and rebounds combined would be, but you need him to hit 2 benchmarks. 10 plus points, 5 plus rebounds for Harper is plus 110 on DraftKings Sportsbook. And I like that. I think, he's had 5 rebounds in 5 straight playoff games. He's averaging over 13 points per game in the postseason. He should be looking at a couple extra minutes here in both the matchup and the Fox situation. So I think this is a pretty safe benchmark, 10-5 for Harper in this one, and it gets you plus 110.
Paulie and I have been going back and forth on the series price and how to approach it for the last couple of days here. What do you think of the current number right now, and what do you want to do with it?
Yeah, I mean, and I'm here as a Knicks game 1 and series better. I liked the spot for them in game 1. I played it at plus 375, and now I have Knicks plus 375 in pocket. So in theory, I should be all set here. But I think we know what we saw in that game. Like, can the Spurs come back? Like, yeah, they can even this 1-1. This is, the ultimate Spurs spot, like we talked about. All the historical trends and the trends for the Spurs off a loss. And, they're looking to become, the Knicks in this game are looking to become the first road underdog to steal the first 2 games of the NBA Finals since the 1995 Rockets did it to the Orlando Magic. And of course, when they did that, the Rockets swept that series. So expectations are going to go out of control if the Knicks win this game, right? It's going to be, all the talk is going to be about a sweep. Forget winning the series. So I'm pretty comfortable with the Knicks in the series. If they lose the game, it's 1-1 and they're going to MSG, and it's going to be priced as pick'em type of games with some of the best crowds we've expected in NBA Finals history. I still like the Knicks there. And the reason I'm not waiting is because I think they really have a chance to take this game. And if they take this game, the price is out of control and the series is going to be viewed as over. So
totally agree.
I went back and grabbed more Knicks now. I like what I see. They're just on like a unprecedented playoff roll right now that we have never seen.
Good stuff. Follow him on X at Julian Edlow, sports betting content. DraftKings Network joined us here on the Progressive guest line. Thanks, Julian. Good luck tonight and with the series.
All right. Thanks, guys. Talk soon.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I can't blame him. We're in the same boat here.
Another great quote from Wembanyama.
Oh, this is tremendous.
Why do they play better after a loss and their backs are against the wall? We're like spoiled kids. We're playing against teams like the Knicks who are experienced, who understand how lucky they are to be in the finals and know it's not guaranteed to happen again. We're in the finals in just our second or third season. We don't realize it or appreciate how lucky we are.
That's like truth serum.
That is awesome.
Right into the veins.
That's better than before game one. Well, we're having a hard time coming down to earth after the big road win and beating the defending champs.
Win, lose next. Paulie's going to recap all of the bonkers numbers that came in during Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Your favorite VSiN shows and personalities are now available to download as podcasts. Catch every hour of our live broadcast with VSiN Best Bets, or find your go-to show and download it directly. Get instant reactions to last night's games, sharp analysis on today's biggest matchups, and everything in between. Whether you're commuting, working out, or just catching up, VSiN lets you take the action with you wherever and whenever you want. Search VSiN on your favorite podcast platform and get in on the action with VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Carolina 9-1 in play. Overtime 3-1. Carolina 12 wins in a row off a loss. 6-0 in overtime in the playoffs. How about that?
Now, is that sustainable?
That is not. Wow. First time in history. Stanley Cup Series is tied and both teams erased a multi-goal deficit.
How good is that, Paul?
That is strong. 3-3 regulation, 12-1. 4-3 overtime, 14-1. Jarvis overtime goal, 55-1. Howden 2 goals, 30-1. First goal of the game, 20-1. He was as low as 2-1 to win the Conn Smythe in the third period.
What a heater this guy is on.
No kidding.
So I noticed that Marner was still like minus 115 late in the game. Was he next on the board then?
Yeah.
Had to be.
This guy's got to be right there now. Continues to keep scoring, too. Stankoven, first Carolina goal, plus 750. They're 9-0 when he scores. Jankowski, anytime, 8-1. Stahl, anytime, plus 440. Stone, anytime, 3-1. Giants, most runs, 20-1. Also, Giants Brewers, highest scoring game, 10-1.
Giants are doing it again today, by the way, at Wrigley.
Yeah, what is it?
They're 8-0 last check.
Okay, more on the Cubs in a second. Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com. Our radio and podcast friends, you always want to see these tweets and videos. At Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in, we'll put you on. I love dogs so much, but one thing is, like, if they have their toy, and this guy's multitasking. The dog goes out to get the newspaper, but also doesn't want to forget about his pet that he has, his toy, stuffed animal, kind of like the service dog who couldn't pass with the elephant. And he's got both. He's got the toy and the newspaper in there. He's got it, no problem. Bring it back. Good boy.
God forbid he leaves the toy at the house for 6 seconds because somebody's going to go and destroy it and throw it in the garbage.
Sure, someone else might come and take it.
Sure.
That's right. Very good. We had the McDonald's convention, worldwide convention, and reporter Chris Arnade found out the only thing that matters. They claim to have a new breakdown-proof ice cream machine. After all this time, and can I get a shake? Can I get a cone? Sorry, down there. And the guy would keep track of it all over the country. And it's like, how come every time I go to McDonald's and the ice cream machine isn't working? They claim they've made all the fixes and adjustments, and they have this brand new machine now, and the great mystery of life. How come everyone, no matter where you are in the country, you'd walk into a McDonald's and you can't get an ice cream cone?
You figure you go to McDonald's how many times a week? You, personally?
2, 3.
2-3 times a week? How many times do you get ice cream? It's not every time.
No, but there's numerous times I would ask and they wouldn't have it.
Really?
Right. More times they ask you to pull up, though, when no one's behind you.
I know what happens then.
Yes, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it. This is a lose some. A lot of people are fired up about this, the NBA Finals on ABC. The video quality's atrocious. No 4K. This is terrible, what we're watching. We have to do better. It's the NBA Finals. A lot of people are fired up about this.
Right, so my phone kind of blew up a little bit on Wednesday night for some friends asking me that question. Like, are you getting 4K? Do you have any idea why it's not available? I'm like, I didn't even realize until you said something. But they were not happy. Like, we have the capability here, right? We have the setup. We got the nice TV. We paid for this stuff. And yet, in this season, Spurs, Knicks, we can't get it in 4K? It didn't bother me, but I can kind of see their gripe.
Sure. Yes. 2 horrific beats. A Moose and Raleigh. Under 6, game 2. 2-0, 10 minutes left. Goes over. Yep. And the A's led the Cubs 7-1 in the 7th and 7-4 in the 9th. And the Cubs walked them off as they finally get a win at home and in their long losing streak. Sports calendar never stops. Sharp Plays covers it all. Winning for 15 straight years. Respected, watched, and feared. Look for the Mr. Poison tweets every day. Get on Telegram. Jump on board. They are connected, and Jeff and the crew do a great job reaching out to over 500 bettors and sources worldwide across all sports and sending it out to subscribers in real time. The kind of transparency rare in this industry. It's all documented and posted publicly. Start winning with them. SharpPlays.com. Can you believe what we walked into yesterday? That we only talked about it for like a couple minutes on the show. But then when I asked Derek and he jumped up, it's like, well, you have your AC at 78?
Yep.
So after the show, I put on X. Simple question. What do you have your AC set at at home during the summer. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone thinks they're right. 235,000 views.
Of all things.
I know.
I haven't checked like the weather across the country. Are we in a heat wave? So everybody wants to talk about this, and it's relatable to people right now across every single state. So here's the thing too. People also have a very strong opinion to the point of where they think if it's the opposite of how you have it, then that person is a lunatic. Like if you keep it at 77 like we do, people who keep it in the 60s or low, they think that we're out of our minds. Well, I think if you keep it to me, there's like nothing better outside than 64 degrees. That's so versatile. You can wear a hoodie if you would like. You can play basketball in a tank top and whatever. 64 is perfect outside. I don't want cold air blowing into my face from an air conditioner at 62, 63, 64 degrees all night long, making that noise and keep freezing me to death. There's a huge difference there, in my opinion.
The consensus is between 68 and 72. And a lot of people say if it's over 72, you're wrong and out of your mind.
Well, that's typically like the room temperature is in that area, yeah. And
Paul Bovey said anything above 74, you're talking about circulation problems maybe. But Bovey wants it like 60, 62, and like a blanket. He goes, I don't care about what the bill is. I just want to be comfortable and have a good night's sleep. And that's like a guy I put on Instagram, like Jordan Scott. He's got to have it at 69, 68 when he sleeps at night.
I think Bovey would have it in the 50s if he could.
Right. That's the other question. How low can you go? Is it like most places, maybe 65, 62, as low as you can go?
He should move to Alaska.
At a hotel. Right. And then you have like Dana from Dana Point, no AC. You had this when you were in the Bay Area. Yeah. A lot of people checking in, no AC, don't have it. Some guy in London was checking in as well. But there was also a great tweet. I got to find it now, the guy's name. But he's like, these people just want to save $1, and then they got their expensive mattress. Then you have to explain to your neighbors and people who come over why it feels like a reptile experiment.
Yeah, I know. You have the cooling mattress. You have all this stuff, right? Yes. I will say it was great when I lived in the Bay Area for like 2 years. And there wasn't a single spot that I know of that I can recall that had air conditioning. And then like the summers there are bizarre. Like June was absolutely freezing. And February and October were amazing. And then like for one small stretch, got like to 82 degrees and people panicked. At 82, had no idea like what is happening right now. This is a sweltering heat. Like is the city going to melt off the state of California? And other than that, it was almost perfect. You never had to worry about it. And like for most of the year, you want the windows open with the screen? Sure, there you go.
Yeah. I knew we were in trouble when I asked Humans, and he goes, I love heat. I don't even put the AC on. I just have fans and open the window. But this guy golfs in 110 weather.
Yeah, he's the wrong guy to ask.
It was stairway to 7 on X. People who keep it at 80 to save money, but then they have their high-tech cooling mattress, cold showers, and explain to their visitors why the house feels like a reptile exhibit.
Actually,
pretty good.
I don't know anybody who takes cold showers. Do you?
Kramer.
Other than him, yeah.
That's it.
I've tried to do it on purpose to test myself before. And I have forced myself mentally into doing a cold shower the entire time. It'll break you.
Yeah, right.
I did it, and I lasted for like whatever 8-10 minutes, and I'm like, I don't think I ever want to do that ever again.
Well, the other thing we seem to have in common though is nobody can sleep when it's hot. People they don't want to do it, and they can't do it, and I'm with them too.
Yeah.
The problem I have is the AC then wakes me up though, and but I'm not like Derek where it's okay, lights out in Georgia, I'm fine. But everyone's got a system, too. It's great.
I know.
Upstairs is 71. Upstairs during the day, upstairs at night, basement, Antarctica. Or when I'm at home, when I'm gone. At night, during the day. 72 day, 68 bedtime. 66, 68. Yep. Everyone's got an opinion, and it's also so easy to just send in the tweet because all you got to put is your degree and what you...
Yeah.
235,000 views.
Again, I think that the natural... Where you are geographically, I think, plays into this big time. And I will reference Alaska for the second time. I've been there twice, and I went to Anchorage in August both years. And I had unbelievable weather. I got super lucky. It was like 75 every single time. But the nights would get down to like, I don't remember what it was, 30s, maybe low 40s. I slept in my buddy's, because we were camping, I slept in an RV one night with the windows open and covered up. It was the best night of sleep that I can recall getting. It was just like the windows are open. It's like 41 degrees in Alaska. And I think I slept for like 10 hours. And I just woke up and I'm like, holy smokes. Is it like, do you sleep like this all the time?
Kelly in Vegas and like Brian Edwards, they're saying it's not humid. It's not bad in Florida. Like, what? I've never experienced anything like Miami in August. And
no, you can have that.
I don't know. They say it's not a problem. I disagree with that.
All right, props for tonight's game coming up. You can always check our player prop projections, VSiN.com, courtesy of Opta AI. They're usually